Hello and welcome, I'm AmishZed, and thank you for watching this showcase for 1.08 Experimental, which dropped this morning. I'm pretty excited about this patch, guys, I'm not gonna lie, so let's dive right in and see what it has to offer. But first, if you enjoy this video, please subscribe and drop me a follow over on Twitch. I'll be streaming this patch tomorrow, June 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you then. Alright, let's dive in. There's only one gun reintroduced to the game in this patch, and that gun is the Sporter, which is now called the Ruger. It uses 22 caliber bullets, takes a hunting scope attachment, and has a 10, 15, and 30 round magazine. This gun fires as fast as you can pull the trigger. This is what the recoil looks like when using the hunting scope at the lowest magnification. I was not moving my mouse at all for that. Here's how it stacks up against zombies. Obviously it's pretty weak, but that rate of fire really makes this gun relatively dangerous. It's also a lot quieter than other guns. When shooting these zombies, they were aggroed to where my bullets were landing, not to where I was firing from. They've changed how weapon sway works in a really interesting way. It doesn't seem like they've actually reduced the sway when you're not holding your breath, but the pattern does seem to be a bit different, more sporadic and random. More importantly, hold breath no longer drains your stamina at a constant rate. You hold your breath and have really good stability for a few seconds, and then suddenly you lose all your stamina really quickly. It's gonna be really interesting to see how this works in an actual firefight. I really can't wait to try it out tomorrow. Here's how it looks with a PU scope. Next up, they've changed how base raiding works in a huge way. You no longer interact with a base in order to raid it. You just smash the hell out of it using normal melee attacks, and it takes a long time. This is a huge improvement because previously in vanilla, it is way too easy to get into a base. Ironically, I was working on a base building guide right before this came out, so I'm gonna have to go back and make some changes. Anyways, you can use melee attacks, but you can also shoot at a base to destroy it. It took several 75 round AKM drum mags to destroy this base. You can also use grenades. It took me 3 grenades to destroy this base. You can also see here that there are visual indicators to how damaged a base is. I didn't get to test it out, but you can use materials to repair damaged bases as well. I'll talk about that more in my base building guide, which hopefully will be out later this week. There are a few new tents that have been added to the game, including 4 new party tents which have sides that can be opened and closed. There are also variations of the medium tent that have been added. These tents follow the new rating system that bases do, but obviously they're going to go down a lot quicker. The patch notes say that items inside the tent will spill out onto the ground when the tent is destroyed, but I didn't see that happen when playing around in offline mode. You could still access those items though using the vicinity inventory. There are 2 new locations in the northwest of the map. The first being the SKVSCH Biathlon Arena, located just west of Vavilovo. Apparently that's some sort of cross-country skiing. It looks pretty sweet though, and has one of those business centers, some garages, and a few summer camps. The second is called the St. Roman Ski Resort. It has 2 parts. The upper part is just up the hill from the arena. It doesn't have much, just some newsstands, an antenna, and a pub. The lower part is just down the ski lift. It has some summer camps, a blue medical building, a pub, and a bus depot. I'm really glad they're adding a bunch of new summer camps in the game because they're really useful. Another new addition to 1.08 is the introduction of car wrecks that can spawn vehicle parts. It's going to make building vehicles a lot easier. These were first introduced to Livonia, and it was a really nice feature, so I'm really glad that it's come over to Cherno. I also noticed that you can kind of open and close the car doors, but it didn't really seem to do much. They've changed how cooking and fireplaces work in a number of ways. They've added a new indoor stove that you can use and allows you to fry 1 piece of meat without a long stick, cooking pot, or lard, which is really convenient. Also, the old grill fireplace now has 2 slots where you can fry meat. And finally, the stone oven has 3 slots for frying meat. But that's not the only benefit of the stone oven. Because it's enclosed, you can still light an outdoor fire in the rain or the wind. Regular fireplaces can no longer be lit in extreme weather. If you want to know how to craft the stone oven, check out my crafting guide. The final additions to cooking are the lighter and the frying pan, which has 12 inventory slots. To wrap up, I'll just quickly go through a few other changes to the game. You'll now be able to pull dead bodies out of cars to loot them, and you'll be able to loot the item that is in a dead body's hand, which means you're not going to have to cut them up to get their gun anymore, which is really nice. Buried stashes now only last 2 weeks, and they've tweaked the materials needed to build a wooden crate. They've fixed a bunch of bugs related to game crashes, sounds, exploits, light rays, and even cars. However, I'm going to wait to see how cars perform until I use them on a full pop server. For the full list, check out the dev forum on 1.08. I'll post a link in the description below. That's it for this 1.08 showcase. Thank you so much for watching, and again, if you enjoyed, please subscribe and come over to Twitch and maybe drop a follow. I'd really appreciate it. Later, everybody.